You are now watching The Meech.
In the most epic turn of events, the Nintendo Direct was revealed for tomorrow in the latest episode of Zack and Cody. Okay, that was a joke. But with the rumors essentially being rumor, Nintendo Direct is coming tomorrow. I got this from a source who knew this guy, who knew this guy, who knew this guy, who knew this guy, who knew this guy's cousin. You gotta have some fun with it. But either way, the inevitable Nintendo Direct is finally coming. I think we all knew it was going to happen for a variety of reasons. For one, we usually get a Direct in September, and two, after Splatoon 3, there is really nothing for Nintendo outside of Breath of the Wild 2. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope looks incredible, but that is definitely more of a Ubisoft thing, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, even if it was a Nintendo thing, that game, or the series Pokemon, right now, it's just so saturated that I can't get hyped for it. It's like when you say the same word a bunch of times, and then it starts to lose meaning. That's how I feel about Pokemon, but regardless, with this Nintendo Direct, I have a few predictions as what we could see in the Direct, what I'd like to see, so let's begin. It has been a very long time without a mainline Mario game, both 3D and 2D. So when it comes to 3D Mario, they already have the assets for Super Mario Odyssey, and I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but I would actually love to see a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey. I feel like with the first game, there are so many great ideas introduced, the formula for the gameplay is just phenomenal, and I would love to see that expanded upon and made even better. You already have so many great characters such as Cappy, Tiara, the Broodals, the return of Pauline, and it'd be nice to see them return, because Nintendo really hasn't done anything with them. But when it comes to 3D Mario, I think that they'll either go the route of Super Mario Odyssey 2, or something entirely different. Something like Bowser's Fury, where it was completely unexpected. It was insane seeing a completely open-world 3D Mario game in the Super Mario 3D World engine, which is the furthest thing from an open-world 3D Mario game. But in the case of Bowser's Fury, I think it'd be kind of cool to see a game that expands on what it was doing, but I do prefer 3D Mario games that have a selection of the locations you can visit, just solely because of the variety, though in Bowser's Fury's case, I think it definitely works having Lake Lapcat be the sole location, considering it's not a very long game. But in the case of 3D Mario, I think it's going to be Super Mario Odyssey 2, or something entirely original. But then we get into the potential of 2D Mario. It has been almost half a decade since Super Mario Odyssey. It has been almost a decade since the last 2D Mario. You could count Super Mario Run, or the Super Mario Maker games, but if we're talking like a mainline 2D Mario that's not on a cell phone, do you guys not have phones? Then it would be New Super Mario Bros. U, which released in 2012. So I think they're going to retire the New Super Mario Bros. Brand for many different reasons. For one, they have the port of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and if this new 2D Mario game takes place of what could have been another New Super Mario Bros., I'm all for that. And I will actually like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. But in the case of what they can do with it, there's a lot they can do with 2D Mario. The problem with the New Super Mario Bros. Games is just how stagnant they are. You look at a game like New Super Mario Bros. U, and you compare that to pretty much any modern 2D platformer, and that's when you realize just how outdated the formula is. Quite ironic considering the name is New Super Mario Bros. So what I think they're going to do is they're going to have a completely different art style. Be really cool to see it in Kotabe style, but I'm down to see different art styles explored. They might go for something incredibly weird, but it's probably going to be a talking point, but it's something that I'll probably get used to and might like. Unless it's CalArts Mario, then that is just, yeah, no thanks there. But in terms of what the gameplay could be like, I think it's going to be something more similar to modern 2D platformers, meaning more organic level design. You're not going to see things like the time limit or anything like that, but I feel like that's the route they're going to go with 2D Mario. And the reason why I say there's going to probably be a mainline Mario game is to tie into the Mario movie, which is probably going to get its first trailer, which I am so nervous about. Oh man. I don't even know what to say about that. I think with Illumination, it could end up being just so generic that it's boring like the Grinch, but I just don't like the idea of having Mario voiced by Chris Pratt. But Going on to another series that hasn't had an entry in quite some time, Donkey Kong. I think in this case, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Because I have the entire theme park thing going around, and also Donkey Kong characters are going to be prominent in the Mario movie. So, there's been a very long time since we got a new Donkey Kong, and if we do get one revealed, I think that it's going to be 3D. I think that regardless of how great the 2D game is, we've waited so long that it would be kind of a disappointment if it's revealed to be another 2D game. Whereas in Mario's case, at least we had Super Mario Odyssey and Bowser's Fury. So, in Donkey Kong's case, it's been rumored that EPD is working on the next Donkey Kong game. It's going to be a 3D game, and it'd be very cool to see. I would always love to see another crack at Donkey Kong in 3D, and this is coming from a guy who actually does like Donkey Kong 64. I will say, Mario could go either 2D or 3D, and if it goes 2D, I think they're going to reveal the next Donkey Kong game, if it's a 3D platformer. But if it's Super Mario Odyssey 2 or a 3D Mario game, I don't think we'll see Donkey Kong and Mario in the same direct. But these are things that I predict to see, but also would love to see. I just have wanted a new Donkey Kong game for the longest time, and just seeing it would be incredible. Another series that has been dormant for quite some time is the near completion in 2015 Pikmin 4. What people realize, logical people, is that near completion in 2015 does not mean waiting nearly 7 years for more information about the game, let alone having it released. It seems like Nintendo Twitter's definition of what is near completion. So, with Pikmin 4, there's obviously the thing about, hey, Pikmin, what is that? Was that Pikmin 4? No, it's not Pikmin 4. But I do feel like that was the game he was talking about when Miyamoto said near completion. But when it comes to Pikmin 4, I think that we could potentially see a teaser for it, though I wouldn't hold my breath over it. And what's interesting is that the gap between Pikmin 3 and 4 is longer than the one between 2 and 3, which was notorious for the development hell that the game went through. But I think with Pikmin, could go either way. Another thing that I predict is 100% going to happen, but I don't know what it's going to be. I think that a dormant series will make a comeback. We've seen this with many Switch games. Metroid Dread is a great example. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp whenever that gets released. And WarioWare Get It Together, although WarioWare did get some games over the years, but most of them were different kinds, such as compilations, a game where you could make micro games being WarioWare Do-It-Yourself, the spin-off game in Wario, although I will say, WarioWare Gold is the best in the series, but yeah, Nintendo has proven that they actually care about their series that are seemingly dormant and could bring them back. If I had to choose one I would love to see, that would be Wario Land. But if we get a 2D Mario game, then I don't think we would get Wario Land, but at the same time, I would just love a new Wario Land. Seeing a new F-Zero would be incredible, and a new Star Fox would be cool as well, but when it comes to what's likely, that's a problem. I just don't know what Nintendo would go with. But I do think that a dormant series will return. Going on to some Nintendo Switch Online stuff, I predict it is still going to be unusable, but it will have some new platforms being Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. And I think what it will set it apart from other Game Boy Advance emulation is that it will have the ability for the multiplayer. See, the Game Boy Advance had a link cable where you could play multiplayer, same for the Game Boy, but it hasn't been implemented in the re-releases. But in this case, I think they definitely could do something along the lines of that. And it was also discovered they have an emulator for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance on the Switch, so that's probably going to be the next console they include. I wish it would be GameCube and Wii. That would be phenomenal, but in this case, I think they're going to do something with GameCube, but it's going to be a little bit different. Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD. I feel like those are going to get ports to the Switch. Be cool if it would be a double pack, but knowing Nintendo, probably going to be 2 separate releases for $60, and they will be on different days, because I feel like if Nintendo is going to release them, they're going to release one, and then they're going to release the other next. So, in terms of that, I think we will just get ports of Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD for full price, in true Nintendo Switch era fashion. So, outside of that, I think they're really not going to do anything with GameCube. That had nothing to do with the game! Finally, moving on to some things that I'm pretty certain we're going to see. Guys, remember that Nintendo Switch Sports Golf update that we're supposed to get in the fall? Because I remember it, and we will be having another celebration when it happens. we had an incredible celebration for Leg Strap Day. So when golf comes to Nintendo Switch Sports, we will be coming back to the game in droves. Right, guys? It's not like everyone forgot about the game. Well, I don't forget about the game because I talk about it non-stop. But regardless, I think we're going to get more information on that. Honestly, at this point, Nintendo Switch Sports has become a meme on the channel. It's a case of a game that is so insanely bad that it's comical. How do you mess up Wii Sports is the question. Like, they literally had the most basic concept, yet they turned it into a service game with the online and didn't even finish the damn game. But I feel like with the golf update, that's going to be it for that game. So that's all, folks. We're going to probably get more information on Splatoon 3 updates, although, unlike Switch Sports, Splatoon 3 is very much a finished game, although some might say it's iterative, and I can definitely agree with that to an extent, but I've been having a blast with it, so I'm not complaining too much there. Stay tuned for the review for that one. And overall with this Nintendo Direct, I feel like since there's not much that they can update us on based on prior games, since like I said, there's really nothing for the foreseeable future, so I do predict it'll be mostly new game reveals. But to end things off, I think they will reveal the release date and the title for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. They said it will be coming in 2023, and I think in this case, it's not going to get delayed anymore. It is a little bit interesting how an asset reusing sequel is taking this long, but you know what? I trust Anuma's judgment, and I'm more than okay with that. And considering what happens when a game isn't delayed, where you're getting golf nearly a year later, then I'm all for this. But I think with the Direct, I think it's going to have some really cool stuff. We'll have to wait and see if Demich's fury awakens, but, you know, I have some good hopes. I'm not going to be the one saying, oh, I think it's going to be incredible, but I think at the very least, it'll be decent. And that is quite an expectation, isn't it? So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and keep calm and da-da on.